Carmen said, I'm Denise. I'm a coordinator of student engagement, work in ASUI. So ASUI is the Associated Students University of Idaho, so co-curricular activities on the University of Idaho campus. So I attended the Finding the Center conference last spring. It was just something that piqued my interest. I had the pleasure of going to graduate school at Seattle University, and so social justice was a big part of our mission and vision at that institution, and so it's something that I try to continue to live in my professional life here. So as you can see, sorry, I don't do very well with microphones. So our charge was to create an action commitment to fight injustice and create more inclusive and welcoming environments. The day before the Finding the Center conference last spring, there was an event on our campus. We'll go ahead and call it an event. There was 2 events. The first event is a positive event, Vandal Friday. It's an opportunity for potential families and students to come to our university and see our campus and really get the feeling of what our community is all about. There was another event that happened to go on simultaneously that was not so positive in my mind. Somebody was hosting a white trash party, and unfortunately it was at a location that was really close to where many of our families and students, potential students, were going to see this event. And I was like, it took me a while to register what was going on because I was kind of like busy doing Vandal Friday stuff, and then like was processing it, and then I was walking home that night after work and asked somebody why they were dressed up, and they told me what was going on. And so that was kind of resonating in my mind while we were at the conference. And so I'm like, well, that's a really immediate need that I see, that we don't have a community that's inclusive and welcoming for all folks on our campus. And so that weekend, I reached out to Heather Gasser, who's the director of the Women's Center, as well as the director of ASUI at the time, which was Jennifer Fountain, to kind of express my frustrations and like, what do we do? How do we react to this? And so really had a great conversation with them over the weekend.
I don't know what a white trash party is. Could you explain that?
Sure, I'll do my best. So a white trash party is a themed function where folks get dressed up in what they think is a resemblance of someone that they would classify as being white trash. So most likely lower socioeconomic status, perhaps not making assumptions about lack of education, you know. Okay, thank you for asking. Sorry about that. Okay, so that week, and so my mentality was I thought that we needed to do something quickly. Like, time is what was of the essence in that situation. And so that following Thursday, we held our very first campus conversation. And so this is our statement of what we think the goal of campus conversations are. To be really frank, I was pretty nervous about it. It wasn't something I had really seen modeled on the campus in my time here. I've only been here for about 2 years. And so to address something directly to a community that was a large part of our campus community, and I'll just be direct and stop being elusive, but it was a Greek house that was throwing the party. And so, you know, they're a significant part of our campus culture. And so trying to educate students to help them understand what the intent or the impact versus the intent of their function was the objective of having that first dialogue. We had probably 30 folks show up. I think we were successful. The idea was not to be punitive in nature. It was the opportunity to have a dialogue, help students, as well as community members to be able to express their concerns and frustrations, as well as to hopefully help some students understand what the impact of their actions are. And so campus conversations have continued this semester. We have them the first Tuesday of every month. These are the 4 conversations that we've had, and you're like, there's 4 conversations and there's only been 3 months. But that's because we have awesome partnerships in this community with folks like Rula, who you hear about something else that she does later, but had Dr. Mark Braverman on campus, and we held a special campus conversation for him. But what we're doing is trying to have the dialogues around specific events that are happening within our community. So, how do you show others you care was in response to the shooting that happened on campus earlier this year. Free speech on college campuses. This tends to be an ongoing conversation, it seems, this semester, which is a good thing. But we definitely have had multiple incidents on campus that certainly raise the question about First Amendment rights. And then protesting for social change, to talk about what is the value of protest, what are the next steps after protest, and to help students engage in what is the dialogue on protests such as Occupy and what happened in Northern Africa and the Middle East as well. So it's been a great project. I really appreciate the partnerships, which I failed to mention earlier. I apologize for that. So Heather Gasser continues to be a partnership, so the University of Idaho Women's Center, and then within the umbrella of student engagement, our coordinator for the Center for Volunteerism and Social Action, Bruce Mann. So it's been a collaboration which I think has helped make the program much more successful than it would have been otherwise.